Welcome to another edition of the Muscle News and Merlin Bodybuilding Podcast. Uh, Number 22.
22 already. 22
How you
weeks
doing,
of
Eric?
podcasts. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Just hanging out here in Vegas, finally cooling down here. Got some, we're like in the 70s, 80s here, and at night 50s, 60s. This is my favorite weather. This is my favorite
Yeah,
weather.
yeah,
So
the winter's cool, it's that heat is just it bugs me, I don't really I'm not a fan of all that heat, anymore. I like the winter.
do
I'm
you
from
in Malta, do they have Halloween in Malta?
Yeah, yeah. In the past, because the religion here was quite overpowering, the Roman Catholic Church. But now it's so Malta has become so multicultural now that the
Uh,
kids come running all over the place, on
oh,
Halloween.
they do. Yeah, Halloween, believe it or not, is my birthday. So that's my birthday's coming up, which is pretty
So
funny.
so when I watch Halloween or Friday the 13th, I'll think of you,
You could think of me probably running around in a Merlin costume.
I was gonna say something else. My God, I just forgot when we mentioned October. Yeah. Anyways, we have a really busy show today.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
much,
stuff's been going
yeah,
on, so there's a lot to talk about.
so much has happened in
You
you
think
know,
after the Olympia that there wouldn't be so much, but actually there's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. I know what I wanted to say because I'm
Oh,
Canadian and born in Toronto, as other people say it. We made it to the World Series.
I know. Unbelievable. But my Yankees got knocked out, so
What a home run. Yeah.
wow, that's
Holy
awesome.
cow. I mean, to watch baseball, it's the time difference, the 6 hours. But I'll try to watch some, highlights and stuff, So who knows, we might win it. I think it's be the second time they've won it, so
Hey, I mean,
cool.
I'm whatever, just let the best team win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Best of seven. Yeah. So let's start off. Uh there were two big events with the Pro League of the MPC of Manion in the UK and Mexico. In the UK, Krizio earned his qualification for the
2026.
uh, 2026 Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
Let me share the.
definitely came in condition.
Yeah, he was looking really good. Um,
Look at Sasan though, right behind him. Sasan, man, that
yeah,
guy just he's how many times has he competed this year?
holy cow, 8 or 9 times. Yeah,
Jeez, he's always in condition.
yeah. So James Hollingshead, he got fifth, and the other big names, basically.
There wasn't really a lot of heavy hitters in the show.
No, no, but listen, I don't know why a guy like Sergio doesn't compete in a show like this, get it over with early. Why
Yeah,
not?
well, we discussed that before. I don't know what, I think Sergio could have stayed in shape and done some of these shows, which I think would have been really smart for him. But
Yeah,
he has, I think he wanted to go back into the off season.
yeah, the
Him
off
and I actually
season.
talked about doing some work together. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah, yeah, you had mentioned it to me. I have a video of Krizio leading up to now to the Prague show. Okay, so I can show that to show like basically what they were looking at the UK show.
All right.
Uh, so this is him. Um, he published this a few days ago. I'm like, I know this guy. I've met him. I've met him. I've been to a show since 2017 when he was dominating with Rafael's pro division, the pro league there in Europe. He's a monster, huh?
He's a monster without a doubt. I mean, there's really, I mean, from the front there,
Yeah.
there's really no weaknesses. His quads look insane. His arms, his chest. The only criticism that I have of him is that I feel like his waist has grown bigger.
It
Uh,
wasn't like that before, huh? It wasn't like that.
no, his obliques have gotten massive, and
Yeah.
it kind of makes him look a little bit boxy.
Yeah.
I don't think he used to be this boxy looking.
Yeah.
But you can't fault condition and you can't fault density
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
size. So
He's in,
he's a player.
he's very impressive on stage, you know. He's very impressive. So I
He's
mean
one of
this is
those physiques that we always would look at training in the gym, and you're like, oh my God, this guy should be Mr. Olympia, but then he never
yeah,
fulfills
it's true.
potential.
I remember when he
So
came over when he switched over to the NPC, you know, listen, he is a big bodybuilder, but if you see this picture, it's not so clear. Um Sasan is not much smaller than him, huh?
well, he probably weighs 50 pounds less, but Sasan holds his size well. I mean, he's a great
Yeah,
bodybuilder.
yeah.
I was very impressed with him at the Olympia, even though he didn't make an impact, but he was
No,
in
I
tremendous
mean,
condition.
yeah,
His
yeah,
condition's tremendous. You can never, and the guy's been on stage, like you said, 7 or 8 times we were talking about
yeah,
before this year.
yeah,
And
yeah,
people who say, oh, you can't peak so many times, he's never out of shape.
yeah. And
Very impressive.
in Mexico,
Mexico was an interesting one.
a good that was another good show. Let me bring up the standings here. The results. Tonio Burton, yeah, you know, he edged past Reagan. You know, he got Tonio got a perfect score.
Well, he was ahead of Regan by far at the Olympia.
Yeah, but
So not a shock. But Regan came into the show way better than he was at the Olympia.
yes, apparently he was apparently at the Olympia. He was a bit puffy looking. Maybe he was a bit off, or he missed the timing. You
Yeah,
know.
he was off. He was definitely off. But here, well, I was at the Olympia, but I wasn't at the show. But in pictures, he certainly looked like he nailed his peak at this
Yeah,
show.
and Sean Clarita got third.
Sean
Amazing.
Clarita is a little freak, man.
Yeah, he must be loving it.
I
And
was joking that there was one video of Sean that was on Instagram, and I commented and I said, "This is the first time in my life I've ever seen anybody's muscles look
yeah,
angry because
so
his muscles when he's full, I've never seen aside from maybe Coleman, I've never seen a guy get so full of glycogen that his muscles look like they're gonna burst through the skin.
yeah, this is Sean in Mexico. I got that footage. So this is Sean.
He's just a thick,
Yeah,
hard. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he's gotten better this year. I mean, he
Uh-huh.
certainly put up a good fight, the Olympia. I mean,
Yeah, last year a number of guys had problems with the coach, you know. I mean,
yeah, he
the
did
coach had
this year.
problems and it affected the athletes. So that shows you how close a coach is with the athletes, you know what I mean?
But
So
Sean is still a giant killer, man. He's
yeah,
still,
it's
I don't think he's
amazing.
going anywhere.
Amazing. Let me see if you see. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, Tonio looked amazing at this
Yeah,
show. I
yeah.
think even better than at the Olympia. Here
When
is where he really looks like Dexter Jackson.
yeah, when you see him just like browsing, you don't really take notice of him. But then when you see him posing, he
Look at
just
him. I
turns
mean,
into somebody else, you know?
he just is full, round, small waist, great shape, wide back, striated glutes. I mean, his legs are sweeped. He's got great
Yeah.
abs. I mean, this
Listen,
guy is only going to get better.
remember when Dexter used to place in the top seven, eight, you know, this guy's doing the same thing and he's moving up, you know?
He next year, I wouldn't be shocked to see him
Yeah.
get first call out.
Even the front double bicep, some guys like Reagan has a problem doing it because either he's muscle bound a bit, not stretching enough, you know. He just does it with ease, you know. It's like he's really enjoying it. All his poses are really good. I really like he's one of my favorites, this guy. Um his
But that back double is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think he could have easily beat Nick at the Olympia, you know.
Listen, I love Nick, and I hope Nick that returns to his, and I think he will, to
Yes,
his
yes.
former self and move up. But I would have actually had Tonio and
Yeah,
Brandon ahead of Nick at this particular Olympia. That's
yeah.
what I would have had.
And he's enjoying it, you know. He's enjoying it, you know.
Yeah,
So
he looks
look
great.
at
He
that.
obviously feels great. I mean, he
Yeah.
doesn't have any weaknesses. I don't
No,
see any
no.
weaknesses.
Amazing, amazing.
So it's
So,
been
and then
great.
I have another clip of Reagan, which he does look better at this show.
Yeah, I think that he came in uh fuller and harder. I still don't think that he's at
No,
100%,
I don't know
but I think that
why.
he really looked good here and
I don't know why. Either he not tricked us, tricked everybody, but when you see his Instagram shots, the perfect lighting and all this stuff, the black and white shots, he really looks incredible. But it's like something's missing. Either he has that layer of fat, I don't know, or water, you know.
He's got a really good coach who I know personally. Um, and I think that they're just trying to work it out.
Yeah.
Regan has definitely had problems with peaking properly for shows. Like he
Yes.
reminds me so much, if you remember, of Steve Kuklo,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
who would, in his Instagram pictures, he would look insane. And then he would show up at the show,
Yeah.
didn't look the same way. He would be flat, not as vascular, not as full. Regan does the same thing, but Regan still, I will still say, has some of the greatest potential of any
No,
IFBB pro.
I've always said he can win the Mr. Olympia or at
He,
least the
he,
Arnold
he
Classic,
just got
like,
to get it all together, and he will. He'll be up. He'll hit that first call out in the next few.
yeah.
He's still young. He's not
Yeah.
like he's an old guy.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't know if you have anything else to say about these shows. These guys got their, Olympia qualifications out of the
Hey,
way.
listen, that's how cool is that? To know that you're done, you're
You're done for
qualified.
the year.
If you
Yeah,
want, you could compete. If you don't want, you could train all year for it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
good for them. So
So,
we know Krizio and we know Tonio's in
yeah.
it.
So
So
those guys got it out of the way.
and is there a point system now implemented as well?
Yes. Let me just go into the one
So like
sec.
Sasan will get points and
Yeah. So now, what do you call it? The the physique, the bikini, they have to win two shows
right.
to qualify, or it's with the point system. So you win one pro show and you might get points and qualify. So
But is it the same for the open guys? Do they do have a
no, the
point
open guys
system?
win one show, even women's
Oh,
bodybuilding.
they don't have a point system.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
I
they have
wasn't
a
sure.
point system, but you win one show and you're in, I think.
Right, but I mean like the guys who place in the top three, four, whatever it is, are going to get
No,
points.
I think the men don't have a point system
Oh
because
no?
let me show you.
I wasn't sure because they just implemented this, so
See,
it's kind
look
of
at
new.
this. Um, these are the guys qualified for the 2026 Mr. Olympia. All right. Um,
Why would Samson's name not be up there?
but it's a natural. He probably just has to tell them I'm going to compete and he's in.
Oh, because he's obviously always
I
qualified.
mean, if you go like that,
I
you
mean,
know,
aren't all the former Olympians qualified?
yeah, they're qualified. But I think,
So,
they have to tell them, listen, I'm going to
oh,
compete
okay.
or something.
So, all right. So,
So that's that. The 2-1-2 is the same. They just have to win one show and they're in. All right. Keone is
yeah, no,
here.
I understand that. I just didn't know if they were doing point system
Yeah, that's what I'm going to check now.
for open men.
Men's classic physique, it's with points. You see?
Yeah.
Men's classic physique has points. Men's physique has points. Wheelchair always had points. That because there's not too many, so they
Yeah.
gave them points as well. Miss Olympia, it's like bodybuilding. You win, you're in. Fitness is with until now there's no points. It could be that they win one show and they're in because maybe there's not too many fitness competitors.
Yeah.
Figure for some reason they didn't list the point. It's maybe they didn't list the points, but bikini there's points. All right. Women's physique there's no point showing. Wellness with points and fit model there's nobody yet. So the rules. Uh, let me see. Men's bodybuilding. So one sec.
I don't know if that's
Uh,
going to show the
no, that's
qualifications.
qualification. Crap.
Yeah, we need
Qualification. Sorry, qualification
rules.
rules.
That's what we need.
So that's the Olympia.
Well, so
Ah,
there is points.
but this
There's,
is now in 2026. No, 2025. First, second, and third get automatic qualification. Fourth and fifth get points. You're not even
right. So I'm saying
qualified.
there is a point system for the men too,
I think so, yeah.
because it looks like in all the shows there's points now.
Yeah. And the Arnold First is automatic qualification, and the rest are points. Second,
Rest are
third, fourth,
points.
fifth.
So there
No.
must be,
Yeah,
obviously, if you want to show you're in,
yeah. That's
but
obvious.
you could
And
also earn your way in via points, which would be kind of like what Quentin would have done. Quentin
yeah,
had all those second places. He would have been
yeah.
got a lot of
And
points.
all other IFBB Pro events is just points if you win. Other now, um,
Oh wow, look at that. So wait a second. So if you win,
no bodybuilding, you win, you're in. That's why I'm
oh okay.
so
Okay.
automatic qualification system, Olympia qualification system for men's bodybuilding, 212, women's fitness figure, women's physique, and fit model. All right. Top three from the Olympia, top three in women's bodybuilding from the Rising Phoenix, and winner of each contest during the qualification period. So that's why they didn't list the points.
But my point is there a point system
Yes.
or no?
Now,
Okay.
um, so the wheelchair is like usual, top three, a winner of each contest, and there's a top five qualify from the point system. Um, where did they put the one of the bikini?
I don't know.
There was a press release where it said the top two from here it is. Sorry. Um, the qualification for the 2026 for classic physique, men's physique, bikini, and wellness. Top 25 in the point standings, right?
Wow, the top
No,
25 in the point
yeah,
standing.
the top 25 go in. So still there's a lot of athletes. No,
Yeah, they're still gonna be playing
yeah.
madness.
And automatic qualification if you win two contests.
Right.
So um the men. So
But it's weird because they don't mention points here
no,
with the
no,
men.
the men don't have points. The men 212, women's bikini, fitness figure, women's physique, and fit model don't have points.
So, but they mentioned points in the other one, so that must be for the other
That's
classes.
for the other classes to make it
That's for the
harder.
other classes. So there's no point. Okay, that's what I wanted to get down to here.
Yeah,
There is
yeah,
no point system for open men. You
no,
have to win a show,
yeah, yeah.
period. Okay,
So
cool. That's what I want to know.
yeah, and in the Olympia, this point things is for them. First, second, third qualify. Fourth and fifth are points at the Olympia. Like this year's Olympia, fourth and fifth get points. They don't automatically qualify. All right. For
Right.
the classic physique and men's bikini and wellness. Arnold Classic is the first automatically qualifies for that show. Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, Romania, and Dubai Pro. Those guys get in. And then it's points.
That's point system. Okay.
But then for the men, then for the other guys, it's the winner of each contest, top three at the Olympia, and so on. They win any show and they're in.
Okay.
But then they
All right.
have that's for the wheelchair. Wheelchair is points. So basically, they're making it harder for the classes with a lot of athletes.
Yeah.
Um, they're making it harder. I mean, listen, I love the Olympia. I still think it's the number one event, but sitting there and watching 68 bikini athletes doing their walk and the men's
Too
physique,
much.
it's uh it's a
That's
bit
it's too much for the judges too.
yeah, it's a bit
Your
tiring.
eyes have to like everybody's got to start to look the same after a while.
Yeah, it's a bit tiring. So that was like a bit of a detour. Going into the Prague event, which everybody's talking about.
Because this is turning out to be a big thing.
Yeah, and there's a ton of athletes. Let me put up have to share these screens so people see what we're talking about. So this is the men's bodybuilding. There are, Jesus, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, like 30 athletes.
There's over 30 athletes. That's a big show. That's like the way that's the way the Night of Champions used to be, New
Yeah.
York Pro Night of Champions.
So you have the big guys, Samson is competing.
Big guy, meaning former Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. Martin, defending champion.
Yep, top 5
You have
Olympia.
James Hollingshead, he's doing it as well. Uh,
Mike
Krizio,
Krizio's doing it.
Michael
Because
Krizanek.
he's already qualified for the
Yeah.
Olympia.
Keone Pearson.
And the big one, Keone.
Yeah.
So those are the main ones.
Obviously, sorry about the other guys. I probably know who you are, but your name I'm not clicking at the moment. So,
Well, I mean,
um,
listen, we're being honest, and we're talking about the top. We
yeah, we're
can't talk
talking
about
about the
everybody.
top guys because we can't go on forever. I don't think Andrew Jackson's doing this show. No, but he's
No,
qualified for the Olympia, so he doesn't have to worry. Um, so, uh, you know, I don't know.
I
I have a
mean, to
video of
me, we're
Keon.
certainly looking at a first call out with Krizzo, Samson, Keone,
Yeah.
Martin. That's the first 4 guys.
This
Uh,
is a video of Keon 7 days out from the the Prague.
yeah, and this is where he's saying I'm flat as can be.
Yeah,
So he's in his flat phase.
he's there.
Well, listen, the guy's going to come in shape. He's never going to, there's no way Keon's coming in out of shape. Hopefully, whatever minor problem he had at the Olympia and peaking will be taken care of.
Yeah, yeah,
And many people, including myself, are pegging him to win the show. Um, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I think he's going to have to come in at his best.
yeah.
But if he does, I believe he's capable of winning.
Listen, Martin will want to defend his title, because he beat Bumstead last year. So and Samson is gaining weight, so
Samson needs this show bad. He needs some retribution.
yeah.
He
So
needs to come in and show people like this is the real me.
yeah,
He needs to win and make a statement like you guys might have written me off, but you can't.
yeah. So this is 7 days out from the Prague Pro as well. He looks already better than the Olympia.
Well, because he's filling out. So he's
Yeah,
doing he's
yeah.
he's
He's
going
still
back to his
he's still not the Samson we're used to. I mean, this thing of 300 pounds,
yeah, I heard he was like 295 here or something.
yeah.
He's still
He
I
still looks
really
a
like Samson, but I don't think I didn't. I didn't think he deserved to win the year he did. He's incredible, but he still has weaknesses,
yeah, yeah.
and he doesn't have that. If you want to compare him to another monster guy like Coleman, doesn't have that sharpness of
No,
Ronnie and the
listen,
back of
don't
Ronnie.
I mean, not
He's
even Jay Cutler can be compared to Coleman. That's how I see it. Nobody can be
no, I
compared.
think Coleman at his best was the best that ever lived, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Samson does look better a little. I mean, he was so flat.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
I
just
mean,
so flat at the Olympia. He had no hamstrings anymore.
yeah.
He didn't have a
Speaking
lot of
speaking about
size.
Samson, it was said that, I mean, obviously what I heard and read, last year after the Olympia, they told him he should come in a bit tighter, right? So, maybe a bit more conditioned. So this year, the tighter and conditioned meant that he lost size, you know.
Yeah, but you know what, Kevin? He didn't look
He
that
didn't look
much
good.
tighter.
No, he
He
didn't
didn't
look
look,
good.
he just looked flat. He
He
looked
got
small, he looked
smaller.
flat.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had no hamstrings from the side. He just fell apart. Like I just remember the video that he posted 6 weeks out and where he was already in better condition. He was
Yeah,
like to me, that was his best look, but he
disappeared.
ended up his muscles weren't pushing out against the
Yeah,
skin. I personally would have placed him lower than fourth. I could have
yeah.
put Fitzwater ahead of him. Um, so it just was
Do,
not a good showing for him at
do,
all.
do you think he has a physique like Cedric used to have, the late Cedric McMillan?
I actually
He,
think Cedric had a better physique. I think
yeah,
Cedric was
but
rounder.
the more fuller he was, the better he looked. And he always said, I cannot come in vascular,
Oh,
tight.
Vasquez, but you know what? I remember Cedric when he turned pro, I think from the Nationals, I think he won. He was peeled
Yeah.
at full. He just never really he might have hit that condition one more time in an Arnold Classic. I think that he was
He was
from what I know about, he was a little bit lazy in some ways. In
laid
terms
back.
of
Yeah.
his diet or his cardio.
Yeah.
I think he was definitely capable of coming in harder. And I think that if he did, he would have maybe even won the Olympia.
Yeah, of course. He could
But
have won
because
anything. Yeah.
his physique was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Samson, I don't think has a work ethic problem. I just think he
No.
has a two things. Number one, he still needs more in his back and certain body parts. And I think that he has to somehow figure out where that line is for him, where he's holding enough fullness and showing enough hardness,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just finding that fine line because he went really dropped below that line. And
Yeah.
and sometimes what happens, and I know this as a coach and a competitor, sometimes when you try to push conditioning too far, you end up your muscles get so flat that they don't appear like you're more
Yeah.
conditioned because they don't push out against the skin. And I didn't, that's what I saw from Samson.
Do you think maybe because he really tried to promote the Olympia, he had a busy year and it could have affected him as well, not enough rest,
Hey, listen,
traveling.
every Olympia guy who becomes Mr. Olympia has a tougher schedule. I mean,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
now you're Mr. Olympia. Did that stop Ronnie,
No,
Phil,
no.
Jay? So you could say, yes, it's tougher, but you have to manage that. And I don't think Samson
And
either would say as an excuse. I
and
think
I
that he
don't
just
think where
did
everybody's
right. You're
saying
right.
that competing at the Arnold could have affected. How can competing in March affect you competing in September? I know.
I don't look at Sasan. I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, just guy who competes 8 times a year.
You
I
compete
just
at
don't believe it.
maybe you hang on a bit till March, have a bit of a break and get back on right away, and then after March, have a good rest and start
That's a
again.
far enough period of
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
to peak to,
Yeah.
to peak twice.
That's it.
Come on,
Yeah.
silly.
Um, so uh I don't know. I think it's gonna be a crazy show. Uh
It's going to be tough. I think that Fitzwater is going to come in. If he can
yeah.
come in like he was at the Olympia or maybe even better, he's going to be very tough. I don't peg Krizio to win. Um, I don't think that even though he's a freak, I don't think he has the shape of a Fitzwater or a
No, no.
Keone or even a Samson. So I think that's going to be tough for him to go past fourth place, although it could happen.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm going to still pick. I'm going to pick and just say that Keon's going to take the first place trophy.
So anyways, Krizio was qualified for the
But he's
Olympia.
qualified already, so it's easy, right?
Keon, he's already 2-1-2 qualified. Samson's qualified.
But it'll be interesting because if Keon wins, then he's qualified for Open and
Yeah.
2-on-2. So what does he do in
Yeah. And
26?
Martin Fitzwater, I think he needs a qualification because he came fifth, right?
He
Yeah,
was,
fifth.
yeah.
So if the qualification rules are as what they say, um,
He
he
doesn't get a qualification for fifth place. Isn't it just like what, top three or something at the
top
Olympia?
three. Yeah.
Yeah. So he
So
needs a
he has
qualification.
to qualify now. Before it was the top five,
Listen, if he doesn't qualify here, he'll qualify somewhere.
Oh no, it just walks into it. There's the Detroit, he won
He'll
that as
qualify
well.
somewhere. He's
Oh yeah.
he's he's
Yeah.
too good at
Yeah.
this point.
So there's that. Have anything else to say? The Prague event has become like
A big show, man.
it's become like it used to be the Arnold Europe before the split. That was like 2 weeks after the Olympia. So all the Olympia guys used to go there, in Europe, in Barcelona. So the
I
Prague,
wish
like,
that I wish more of the Olympia guys would have gone there. Like I'd like to see like
yeah,
Brandon Curry go there, and
yeah,
some of the other guys go there. Maybe even I don't want to say Nick because I think Nick wants to retool, but
yeah,
it'd be good. But it's still between those four guys that we just talked about.
yeah, yeah,
It's got some exciting elements. People are going to definitely have their eyes on that show.
yeah. Um, so that's that. I want to say,
Excuse me. I
sorry.
sneeze.
You
I
said,
sneeze.
bless you. Um, I want to say congratulations to our friend David.
Yes, he's
He
become a
won the
friend of the show.
Beano's Classic in
He's winning everything, man.
yeah, yeah. Let me get into maybe there's a page part of him posing. Um, so I just want to say, remember this contest, they are not allowed to wear men's posing trunks to not show their glutes in Dubai in this
So it
centenary
looks
of
like people think like, is this really
it's body,
classic?
this is bodybuilding.
It's
Okay.
Bible.
Um, let me just pull this up. So this is him. Fantastic. Like as usual, laughing all his way to the contest, enjoying himself.
I just want to have him back on the show because I love his personality. He's such a happy dude.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, it's like you hang out, you just listen to him, and it's
Yeah.
like contagious, his
Yeah.
happiness.
He'll be competing next year at in Russia at the Siberian Super Show, Power Show, Siberian Power Show, and um, he was challenged by the guy he beat, the former world champion, Mika Shehovin. He wants to beat him again, so he wants to try to beat him, and he challenged him to that show. And this is him at a guest posing, so he's back in shape. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, and he's no
So
joke.
yeah,
He's
so
got
he's
a
gonna have
fantastic
some
physique.
good competition. This was a couple of weeks after the World Championship, so he wants to challenge him, which is good for the sport.
Of course.
This is the IFBB of the side of Rafael. They call it the IFBB Pro as well, so it's going to be interesting. That there's some amazing athletes, and you pointed out that the guy that came in third looked really good as well. So
Yes.
when I showed you the photos, so it's
Hey,
there's some good
it's still
bodybuilders.
the world of bodybuilding.
Yeah, there's bodybuilders everywhere.
The
Some
world of
guys,
bodybuilding.
some guys find it comfortable to stay in the region of their country and compete there. And like what David said, everything's paid for.
He has a great life,
He just
and he's
goes
happy.
there. He made about, I think it was close to 15 grand just competing. He just everything was paid for. He just travels there, wins his money, goes back home. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if he does that 3 or 4 times a year, plus coaching or whatever he does, fantastic life.
Yeah, no, he's a happy guy, and
He's a
and that's what the
happy-go-lucky
main thing
guy.
is. He'll
Yeah.
never switch over to the IFBB Pro League.
No.
I would just for shits and giggles, I would love to see how he would
Yeah, yeah,
do,
yeah. Listen,
like where he would be, because I think that he would do really, really
yeah, I
well.
think
It's
there was the Fit Expo in Dubai, I think, last weekend. And um the IFBB have the rights to the show there. They sanction the amateur event and the pro events or whatever, right? So, and there'll be all the pro league guys there. Bob Chick, Sean Ray, they all go there.
a
It's a
big,
huge,
well, a very big thing, big
they're all
event.
there. So, but then they mingle with these guys and they keep telling them, why don't you come to the pro league? Why don't you come to the pro league and stuff? So, um, it is what it is. And like we always said, he's happy where he is. And, funnily enough, the IFBB put out a magazine, Muscle and Health or something like that. Yeah, Muscle and Health. And they wanted me to reword the interview that we did of him for that magazine. I think I sent you photos of it, the
Uh-huh.
draft.
Yeah.
Um, and they promoted the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So we'll see. So that's some good promotion. That
Yeah,
interview.
well, congratulations to him. I like him. He's a
Yeah.
great guy and an amazing bodybuilder.
Yeah. And in Russia, they promoted our interview as well this week with
Oh,
him.
nice.
So
Nice.
on
All
their
right.
on their YouTube channel, on
We're
their
moving around. We're moving
Instagram.
around. We're getting around.
Yeah, on their Instagram. So that's great. So that's David. Uh, I have that funny story. Shall we talk about
Yes,
that?
I was not completely aware of it until you told me the details, and we got to talk about it
So
just because it's
okay.
hilarious.
So there's a federation in Spain, WNBF.
But they're not just in Spain. The WNBF is
No, they're
big
all
here too.
they're worldwide. But
I have clients in the WNBF, very big clients.
yeah.
So
So, so is it the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation?
I think that's the title, and I think that's the pro, but I think there's also an amateur, which is the
Mm,
INBF.
okay.
So I think it's kind of like an NPC IFBB type thing. But
Okay.
they're very big and they run some great shows and they have a lot of really great competitors.
So basically, these guys, they work in line with with WADA, apparently. Okay.
Okay.
So
So they want their athletes to be
in
drug
line,
free,
they want them to be natural, in line with
and
the
that's
WADA
fine. Good.
Olympic standards.
The
All right. So
standards, yes, good.
you're tested, randomly, and
Yep.
so apparently a helper got
Okay,
banned.
so a helper,
A helper.
not a competitor.
Yeah. So if this helper was jacked, all right, they randomly tested him. He probably was putting up the stage, he had his veins popping out,
Uh-huh.
and they randomly tested him. And apparently they found five substances. It's translated from Spanish. They found five substances in him. And
Five PEDs, five
yeah,
different
five PEDs,
anabolics.
and they suspended him.
They suspended him.
That's it. Yeah. So basically, the rules are not limited to who competes, but everyone who influences the performance and preparation of the athletes. But this guy's a helper, I don't know.
Yeah, that really to me is way overstepping.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I respect the W. Like I said, great organization, great shows, great competitors,
Oh,
but come on now. A helper. So I'm thinking to myself, what's going to be next? Random testing people in the audience? Who, what happens if you go see your friend at the show and you're jacked and you're on stuff, but they're like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed in because you
yeah,
might be on something. You're gonna have to
yeah.
be tested.
I
I think
mean,
that's a little ridiculous.
all the comments are in Spanish, but they're all making fun of it.
It's
All of them.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He's not, listen, the athletes are the ones on stage competing against each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Those are the ones that matter.
yeah.
If somebody chooses to use drugs and they're helping you manage the show in some
Yeah,
way, you're
yeah,
not competing
yeah.
to test
Listen,
them.
I'm just gonna say something really. Everybody has problems in life. Maybe there's somebody that has a bit of a problem with recreational drugs, right? And they test him. What does that have to do with a helper, a guy working there, a guy putting the mellows on the person,
Is he doing his job?
Yeah,
Is he doing his job well?
yeah.
Is he responsible?
Maybe
It
that's
should not matter whether he's taking steroids.
yeah, maybe that's keeping him alive, and he's trying to get out of a habit, and all of a sudden you suspend him, and he's not even competing. Where does, from
It's it's insane to me.
yeah,
I'm sorry to say.
yeah, yeah, it's
It's
crazy,
insane.
right?
It made me actually when you first told me before we got on air,
Yeah,
Kevin and I, so you guys people know, we usually discuss a little bit what we're going
yeah.
to talk about. And when you told me, I literally burst out laughing
Yeah, yeah. And
because it was so insane to me. I'm like, am I really hearing this? It's
yeah,
so
when I sent you the link this
ridiculous.
week on WhatsApp, I said I don't think he caught on because he didn't answer.
I read something really quickly about it, but I
Yeah.
didn't really delve into it because it just didn't catch me. But when
Oh,
you told me about it, I'm so glad you mentioned it because it's hysterical. I mean,
yeah,
what do you people think out there? Let us know.
yeah,
Should a helper for a show
yeah.
be drug
Get
tested
banned.
for
Yep. I
steroids?
know there are strict rules on coaches. Not a coach. I mean, if he's taking stuff, whatever, he falls if they catch him, whatever. But if he was suspended, if he's sanctioned by WAD or suspended, and they're coaching athletes, the athletes will get suspended as well. That rule has been there for any sport. All right. So if a coach is suspended, they cannot coach athletes. All right. So if there's a guy in boxing in the Olympics and his coach has been sanctioned, he cannot coach that
Well,
boxer.
that makes sense. There's
Yeah.
some type of
That,
rule he broke that he
yeah. So that's it. But being a helper, come on,
that's
I mean,
just I can imagine how angry that person
oh
is
no,
and how
it's
he's
ridiculous.
probably thinking about
Or
suing.
it's an easy way to get somebody out of their thing. Maybe they wanted him out, who knows,
I mean, I can't even imagine that he would even submit to the drug test. I'd be thinking to myself, like, I'm not taking a drug test. This was not a require. Was there a, so you know what? I'd be like, you should have given me a contract in the beginning that says we may test even employees
Yeah, yeah.
for
I mean,
steroids and not just and then you'd be like, well, I guess I don't really want to do
Yeah,
it because I like to,
yeah.
but I don't know, just absolutely
So like
silly.
one guy wrote, this is ridiculous. As long as the athlete on stage is clean, I don't see why it would be an issue. Enhanced
Of
coaches
course,
can enhanced coaches can coach natty athletes.
of course.
So everybody's against it. This really,
It's,
you know,
I can't imagine anyone being for it.
yeah. I don't I mean, people probably think I'm not making this up. This is the page. Look. See that? Banned. And it's all here to see. So it's crazy. And they show all the tests. Look at that.
Okay, great. So he was on it. That's his
Yeah, so
business. He's
what?
not competing.
Yeah,
He's not breaking a rule of
yeah.
competing against
No,
others.
it's crazy. It's crazy. So
Oh, that's
it
just
popped up on my feed and I just thought it was hilarious. I mean, I'm for if there's a natural federation. I love seeing natural competitors looking great.
I
If they're
spent
this
my
is
entire competitive career as a
yeah.
natural being tested, and I
So
was very proud of it.
so if there's a natural competitor, right? And I don't know, let's just shoot some. Phil, he says, let me coach you. All right, I'll coach you for free. You're my friend. All right. So they go to this contest. And Phil Heath walks in, all right, and he's probably doing TRT or whatever, or whatever he's doing to keep that size, right? Or and they say, listen, we're gonna test Phil Heath, because he's your coach. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's
It's
crazy. It's
it's
crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
very silly. It's very
Yeah,
silly, and
crazy.
I
I
hope. I mean,
Like I said, I respect all these natural federations a lot. Um, and I mean, I help the IFBB in Europe. They have strict testing after contests and things like that. And but I've never heard of helpers being,
that's a new one for me, my friend. That's a
that,
totally a new one for
that
me.
was a bit funny. So there's that. We're sure I'm going through all the because we have so much to talk about. Now, I want to touch on something really just a few weeks ago after the Olympia, Lee Haney.
Ah, yeah.
Um, I did a small video about it if you want to watch it on the page last weekend. Um, Lee Haney said, should we introduce the tall and short class at the Olympia again? All right. And
The way it
basically
was the way it was up to year, what was it,
74
1970?
between 74
No,
and
75, they still had it.
74 and 79.
They had it.
Yeah.
And
So
then 1980, they got rid of it.
yeah, in 1980 they got rid of it. So let me uh going into muscle
I
memory.
thought they got rid of it before that.
No, no. Olympia. So he's saying, let me go on 74 here. There you go. So let me see 73. I don't think 73. No, 73, there were just three competitors. There weren't too many competitors back then. So,
Yeah, not the same as today.
So Lee Haney said, why don't we introduce the tall and short class again? Because the shorter bodybuilders are packed with muscle and and the way they look. It's very difficult to compare them to a Samson or Andrew Jacked or even Reagan Grimes who are taller, right?
So he's
So
probably talking about it's hard to compare a Hadi or a Derek to a Samson or a Nick.
exactly. So then I went that extra mile and I said, so they should eliminate the 2-1-2, put everybody in, short class, tall class, eliminate weight and stuff like that for the 2-1-2 guys, all right? And just do it with height. And in my video, I mentioned Lee Priest even got involved and he said they should do it like up to 5'7" or up to whatever, 5'5" and then 5'5" upwards, something like that.
So a short and tall class of the Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. So, and Reagan made a video. He thought it was interesting, and he said, let him know what they think, right? So basically, just to give you a hint, so this is 74. Arnold won the heavyweight class, and Franco won the lightweight. So in fact, Franco was Mr. Olympia lightweight, and Arnold was Mr. Olympia heavyweight. But overall winner went to Arnold. So basically, the 2-1-2, we call them a 2-1-2 Olympia. We don't call them Mr. Olympia. But if that had to be eliminated, and there's a short and tall class, and like Keone wins the lightweight, right? So he is Mr. Olympia lightweight, okay? And so Derek would fall into. We can't even do it like that. Derek
I'll
would
just
fall.
say that was the year that Samson won. So 2 years
Yeah.
ago,
So
whatever.
make it, yeah.
Because Keone won 2 years
Yeah,
ago,
make
and so
it
did
Keon
Samson. So
one, yeah, and Samson one, and then they do an overall, and then we get to see who's the real overall champion. Imagine Keon going against Samson that year. That would have been amazing, you know?
it's, I mean,
Interesting.
it's an listen. That's bringing it back to the old days, which is what they used to do.
Yeah. So
Um,
if you go to 75,
it was
you have
Franco,
Arnold against Franco again.
Arnold, Franco again.
But this gets interesting then. In 76, Ken Waller was Mr. Olympia heavyweight.
And nobody even talks about that.
Nobody talks about
You
that.
never hear his name associated with Mr. Olympia.
And he doesn't either. He's just, the shirt. That's all he's noticed for pumping iron, stealing the shirt. But nobody ever says that Ken Waller, all right, he beat Mike Katz. He beat one guy. Regardless, he was Mr. Olympia heavyweight. And Franco won the lightweight, beating Frank Zane.
Now, but here's the thing though. Was it, see, this is where I'm confused. Did they weigh them and do heavyweight, lightweight, or was it tall and short?
I think back then it was heavyweight, lightweight, because if it was tall, Frank Zane would go with the tall. That's a good point. Back then it was heavyweight,
So,
lightweight.
so they did do, they weighed them.
Yeah,
I
back
wonder
then they
what
weighed
the
them.
weight requirements
Yeah,
were.
but Lee Haney is saying now tall and short. So
Tall and
basically,
short, so a height
yeah, it's the
division.
same. It's the same, like the same idea, just different rules.
Well, but that's a big difference though, because some guys at 5'7" could weigh
Yeah,
be a heavyweight.
that's the thing. That's a good point. And I didn't even catch that in my video. Now I'm noticing it. So you brought up a good point. But if it had to be tall and short class, the short guy can weigh so much. If he's short, he'll look ridiculous then. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
but you have to think there's been some really awfully thick
yeah,
whatever that's 5'7" guys who weigh as much as some guys who are 5'10"
yeah,
because they're just super thick and they, so
yeah. So then in 77, uh, Robbie Robinson won the heavyweight, and Frank Zane won the lightweight, but Frank Zane won the overall.
right, and nobody associates Robbie Robinson with the Olympia title either.
Masters only when he beat Lou
No,
Ferrigno.
Masters
Yeah.
only, but nobody ever says he was a Mr. Olympia.
In the heavyweight, yeah. 78, Frank Zane again, and Robbie won the
And Robbie
heavyweight.
again.
Yeah. And 79 was the last one. Mike Metzer won the heavyweight,
And nobody associates him with Mr.
and Frank
Olympia.
Zane won the lightweight, and then he won the overall. And then obviously there was the famous 1980 Olympia where they went back to.
But this time they took out
They
the
took
torch.
that out, and they did that, So that's something that you know. Let's just say either weight, heavyweight, lightweight, or they can do tall and short class. It's
I think that they would need if this was going to happen, the designation would have to be tall and short because I think that's what Lee Haney. He's not talking about body weight.
No, no,
He's
no.
talking about the difference between seeing
Yeah.
a tall guy and a short guy.
Yeah.
So I think they would have to be like up to 5'7" and then 5'8", whatever, however they want to do it.
Look, Lee Haney, he has a soft spot for the taller bodybuilders. It is what it is. He
And he
always
has a
says,
soft spot for the old days.
yeah, the taller bodybuilder beats the short bodybuilder. But these last couple of years, the short guys are dominating everything. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you think it's a good? I mean, do you think it's a good idea? What's your opinion?
I think it it makes the competition more interesting. You get like a guy like Keone, mingling with still having a chance to be win Mr. Olympia. They can do it now as well. You have the 2-1-2 winner, you have Mr. Olympia, and then you just have another overall title.
Hey, you could throw the classic winner in there too and pick the
You
best
can throw the
physique
classic winner in there too, because
if
there's
you
still
wanted to.
bodybuilding. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not so sure whether I like the idea or not. I kind of like looking at bodybuilding as a taller guy's better than a shorter guy, whatever. To
Yeah.
me, I still like to look at it who has the best physique
Yeah.
on stage, regardless of height. That's
Yeah.
the way I like to look at it because, you look at somebody like Hadi or Derek, who had the best physique on
Yeah.
stage. It was Hadi or Derek, not because they were taller or shorter.
Yeah. 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 No,
They
no,
beat
it's
Andrew
true.
Jacked, who was fantastic,
Yeah.
but they beat him because they had better overall physiques, even though some
I
people
think
disagree.
Lee Haney is seeing something that maybe the judging cannot be judged like that with a tall and short guy.
I think you can if you know how to judge, you
Yeah,
can.
we have
But
to
I also think that the other thing, Kevin, that I was thinking about is that the way I just said to you, like nobody ever recognizes Robbie
yeah,
as a Mr.
it's
Olympia or
crazy,
Ken
eh?
Wall or whatever, but you do recognize Keon
Yeah.
or whoever that was as a Mr. Olympia, even
Yes,
though they say
that's true.
212,
No,
they have the separate,
I'm
and I
not,
think that they like it that way.
yeah,
They want to have several
yeah.
different types of Mr. Olympia.
I'm not saying that that system is the way to go. I mean, I like this system now as well with the 2-1-2 guys and the open and the classic. I mean, funnily enough, something slightly off track but similar in like even in Malta we do it at the IFBB events at the end of the men's show, right? Obviously, uh, the winner, the amateur, will get a ticket to the European Championships, everything paid for, if they win the overall, right? What they do is they bring out the men's physique. It took me a while to let it sink in, but it makes sense. They used to get the men's physique, the classic guy, uh, the men's physique classic, and bodybuilding, and put them on stage, the winners. And the judges judge who they want to represent Malta at the European Championships. Wait, and once I had not a fight, a guy said, "Why are you not making me the national champion on the website?" Because I said, "You're not bodybuilding national champion. You were picked to represent the country because you won your class." It was a men's physique guy. You know what I mean? So it, that's something fun where a federation can see where they put their money. You know what I mean? But at the Olympia, it I don't know. I mean, Lee Priest is in favor of it. I mean, obviously Lee Haney likes it. So the only thing we have to do, Eric, is after Lee Haney does a show in November, we'll let him cool down. We'll let him do his accounts and see, everything's good, and just invite him on our show again and
Well,
ask him about it.
first of all, two things I'm going to say. Two things. First thing is that everybody's going to have an opinion, and there's
Yes, yes.
nothing wrong with different opinions.
Oh, it's
There's nothing
fun.
wrong with bringing up
Yeah,
different ideas of how
yeah.
we should move forward,
Listen.
and certain ideas take hold, certain don't.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
as we were talking about this, so I mean, like even if Lee came on and I don't agree with him, doesn't mean I don't want to hear his opinion and just talk
no.
about it. But you know,
Like,
or Regan's or Lee Priest or anybody, like
yeah,
whatever. Let's
yeah.
let's hear what everybody has to say.
No,
However, what I think would be interesting now that I'm thinking about it is at the Olympia, everybody has their titles. You do the Open, Olympia,
yeah.
Classic, blah, blah. Just, but what would be fun, I think, would be to take the three Classic, 212 Open, and do a people's choice. Let the
Yeah,
people vote. Who is the physique that you
yeah.
think is just the
Why
best in the
not?
world? And
Yeah,
let the people vote, not the judges. It's nothing official.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
prize award
No, no,
handed
no,
out.
no,
It
no.
would just be interesting to see who
Yeah,
the
that's
public
another idea.
views as the best physique in the world.
I'm fine with it. Or we can make it fun. They invite former Olympia winners that are retired. Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, Samir Banu, whoever wants to come. And they vote for the guy because they're outspoken. They speak a lot on podcasts, and let them vote.
Well,
And
then you'd also have to bring former 212 guys and
yeah,
former
yeah, just
classic guys.
mix them up.
But
Mix them
you
up.
can have
Yeah.
that panel. But I think
Yeah.
that if the people voted, It'd be
Yeah,
very interesting to see what people all over the world think. Do they think
yeah,
that Ramon Dino represents the
yeah,
ideal? Do they
yeah,
think Keone
yeah.
represents the
Listen,
ideal? Do they think Hadi or Derek is
yeah,
who represents the ideal to the public?
I
And that would actually give some really good information to
yeah,
how to promote things.
yeah. I mean, the more I look, the more I see him. With all due respect for everybody. Crap, I don't know. Is it this? Are these the photos? No. Um, I'm just trying to find where he published them. Somebody published photos of Ramon.
Oh, are you talking about the backstage ones in front of the white?
No, I don't know if I
There was
saved
a
it.
video. I think as soon as they get them off stage, they have them pose. I've seen it many years against this white
Yeah, that
background. I
white
think it's
one. Per
and there
Yeah,
was some photos of Ramon that he looked
amazing.
just
Yeah, yeah,
unbelievable that I think that 99 out of 100 bodybuilders in this
yeah,
world that go into the gym would
yeah.
want to look like that.
Listen, this year he nailed it. He was guest posing in Brazil a week or 2 weeks after Olympia. He got a bit fuller and he looked incredible, man. I'm telling you.
He
Chris got him spot on, you know.
That was his best. Yes, that was it. He was clearly, he is definitely one of the best physiques on planet
Yeah,
Earth.
I mean, it's him and Keon, you know.
Yeah, different types of
Yeah, but
looks.
when you say the ideal pound for pound, both of those guys are just, they just, you know, they
I'm
just,
I'm I'm only saying Keon because Keon could compete in open. Ramon
yeah,
couldn't compete in
yeah,
open yet. He doesn't have
yeah.
enough size. But in terms of just looking like something,
Oh,
that guy.
incredible. It's the photos he put up. I was like, this guy is not real, you know, incredible.
Yeah, I swear. I mean, I know there's a lot of people saying putting up videos, the 2024 Chris Bumstead versus the 25 Ramon, who would win?
Yeah,
That's a tough one because
yeah, yeah.
that's how good Ramon looked.
No, Ramon's looking anyways, good for him. I'm really happy for him. That was my favorite result of the weekend, that weekend. So that's that for the tall and short class. We'll see. I'll keep it on the side for now, and maybe it will be a good thing to get Lee to come on the show and ask him about things, and see what he
Yeah,
thinks.
I'd love to see also his just rundown of the Olympia
Yeah,
and
and
what he.
ask him what he thought of the Olympia and what he thinks of his show, how it went, and things like that. So, uh, did we mention Samson Dauda for the about the size? Did we mention that? Listening to
What
the
do you mean?
judges?
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
that.
we talked
Yep.
about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. Should Derek, Hadi, and Samson compete at the Arnold and Pittsburgh?
Oh, so that's a question that's going around now.
Yeah. Not it's I've heard some podcasts. Some are saying that Derek should shut it down. Hadi will probably do the Arnold, okay? And they're saying Samson should shut it down as well. I believe
I Yeah,
as
you go first.
a bodybuilder that wants to make money in the shortest time, okay? If I was Derek, all right, he made a ton of money this year, over 1.2 million or whatever, and then you minus the taxes or whatever. But anyways, it's a lot of money, all
A lot
right?
of prize money.
Plus sponsorships and bonuses and whatever. Um, If I was Derek, I would go into the Arnold, man. Play second. How much would you get? 400 grand? 300? Who cares? It's listen, all right, there might be a dent in his, he's Mr. Olympia. Don't do the Arnold, but you know, I don't know. It's a lot of money just to not do. Not, I mean, if I was Samson, I would do it, you know. What do you
Mhm.
think?
I think that, listen, I mean, you're an athlete. This is your sport. If you remember that the guys back in Milos's day and everything would compete 8, 10 times, 12
Yeah,
times a year,
yeah,
they're like, we're bodybuilders. This is what we do, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah,
now, especially when you're talking about a contest that's giving away prize money like that, when you know that you're one of the best in the world and you have a shot at walking away with 750, 400,
yeah,
300, whatever it is, second, third, to me, it's worth it. I say you go up on that Arnold stage
Yeah.
and you try to take that title, try to take home that prize money, because how often do you get that shot at
Yeah.
taking home so much money? And
Yeah.
bodybuilding, we always talk
Listen.
about it. You never know how long you're going to be able to
Yeah.
compete. You
Yeah.
never how long you have to do this. And also, as we said before, I don't personally see, unless it's some underlying health issue or something that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But if all is well, there's enough time between the Arnold and the Olympia to
Yeah.
peak and repeat.
Then there's Pittsburgh a couple of weeks after, right? So
That's also, I mean, another good show. I don't know if they necessarily have to do that one, but I
yeah.
would do the
But
Arnold.
it's prestige. Now the new thing is win the Arnold, win the Pittsburgh, and win the Olympia.
Right.
So
I mean, I don't know that many people who would do it. Derek did it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he would maybe do that again or not, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you can do.
I mean, um, one of the guys that mentioned it, Sean Ray, saying, they should shut it down and all this stuff. Listen, Sean Ray, when he competed, complained about prize money. Bob Ciccarello complained about prize money. Now the prize money's there. Compete. You are Mr. Olympia. So what? You lose a contest, like Samson did. But the thing is, Samson got a bit wrong for the Olympia, and it is what it is. He plays fourth, but he is still Mr. Olympia. He is still an Arnold Classic winner. Nobody can take that away from him. So what? You lose a show, big deal. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. So it is what it is.
I mean, you
Compete.
got to take that shot at $750,000. And
Yeah,
even like you said, second and third place is still significant. It shouldn't affect your peak for
yeah.
for the Olympia. I say go for it, but obviously that's just a personal.
Listen, a second place check can buy them a house, and they can. It's investment. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
using your body
to
to
make
make
money.
money.
Yeah,
That's the way you
yeah,
make money.
yeah.
And
So
the more you show up in these places, the
yeah,
more you earn in other ways too.
yeah. Instead of guest posing each week and shut it down for a month and prepare for that, and that's it. So
I say so. I certainly, I know, I'm pretty sure Nick is going to go for the Arnold Classic again.
who knows?
Um,
Yeah,
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 he told me that in a private message. He's definitely thinking about doing that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a show that they should do. And like you said, you can listen, you could be Derek and you can go into the show. Let's just say Hadi goes, he beats you, or Samson, whoever beats
yeah,
you, and you come in second. Doesn't mean you can't come back for the Olympia better and win the title and keep your title.
yeah.
I think at this point, it's not a big deal to $750,000. That is significant prize money. I mean, these guys used to get 100,000 for it.
Yeah,
I mean, $750,000. You got to take a shot at it while you're still, because again, God forbid something happens with your
yeah,
health or for some reason that you only have a few years to compete and make your money.
yeah.
Make your money.
And the thing is, to be a top tier bodybuilder, there's only a small window where you're looked at as a top tier bodybuilder. It's like Derek, the days are over where a guy dominates for 9 years. I mean, Derek, Hadi, and Samson Dauda I'm calling him Samuel. I
Right.
don't know, I'm going crazy. Samson. Um, they are at the top at the moment with Hadi, right? And Fitzwater. We can put him in the thing. And you're only there for so long until a new guy comes up and takes your place. So there's only a small time, a window of opportunity when the judges look at you as a top bodybuilder, where they say, holy cow, Andrew Jack is coming. So they look at you differently. Now, can Phil Heath come back and they look at him differently as well or something? But he's not in that window anymore. You know what I mean? Even though he's a seven-time winner. So it's like Ramon. When he goes on stage now, everybody's going to look at him. You have that aura that you are the best in the world. How long can you hold on to that? That's the thing. So now's their chance to make that money. Because in the next 2 or 3 years, you might fall down, you know, you might fall down the pecking order. Like it's sad to say, like Brandon Curry, he had a fantastic physique, but he placed what, seventh,
So I
sixth?
think
Yeah.
seventh or eighth.
You get pushed down, unfortunately. So you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta try your best and do it. If they do it safely, they don't go overboard. Maybe, and they go in at maybe 80 or 90% of what they were at the Olympia. Go enjoy yourself. You're a star for a weekend. What I mean,
But
what more can you?
you can peak for the Arnold
Yeah.
and re-peak for the Olympia.
Yeah.
It's not like you're talking about a show that's 8 weeks apart.
Yeah.
And a coach should know how to handle that. Now, of course, we're talking about a sport where you have to watch your health.
Yeah.
So, of course, you should run, go get your blood tests and everything. If there's something wrong,
You
things
pull
aren't
out.
right, then of course you don't do it because health has to come
Yeah.
first. But
Yeah.
if everything looks good, you're healthy, you feel good, I say peak, take a
Yeah.
little break, re-peak again.
Experiment with different food, maybe a different way of peaking. You can, that's the only way they learn, you know. Say we're going into the show, we're going to try this. It's like Nick Walker, his coach admitted that he didn't it was his first major show and he didn't
Right. It
peak
was
him right
peak
on
right.
both nights. So you go into the Arnold and you try again. And then you do the Pittsburgh, you know. Maybe Nick needs more time on stage. Who knows, you know? They just should do it. You know,
Well, that's my opinion.
yeah,
Do it.
I think they
I think
should
they
do
should
it.
do it.
I'm
I
not
think they
gonna
should do it. I
say,
think you should be up there.
yeah,
Listen, you're a pro bodybuilder. People want to see you.
yeah,
Your fans are everything.
yeah,
Get up there at the big shows. Show yourself. You're going to make a lot more money.
yeah,
You're going to, as long as you're healthy, do it.
yeah.
And that's just my.
Listen, I bet you, if there wasn't the social media that there is today, and they can, make money from YouTube and all that stuff, if these things were eliminated, I bet you $100 that these guys would be on stage every weekend because that would be
Yeah.
the only way they make money.
I mean, remember, just again, remember how the guys in the 90s,
Yeah, and
like
remember,
one
Joe
show
Weider.
after another show after another show, they were going the
Yeah,
tour, the tour after Olympia,
yeah,
competing literally
yeah.
every weekend.
Yeah, Wayne D'Amelia used to throw him on a bus, you know. And remember, these guys had contracts with Joe Weider, so he used to tell them, "You got to compete next weekend, or you're suspended, or you're this, or
And
you're
listen,
that."
if I was a supplement, say if the supplement company
Yeah,
owner,
you will want them
and
to
I gave
compete.
a big contract to one of these guys, I'm like, I want you on stage at these big events.
Yeah,
Unless you have a health issue,
yeah,
different.
yeah,
But if
yeah,
you're healthy, I want you there
yeah,
representing the company.
yeah. Whatever you're on stage, you know, you're there. You know, that's the thing. I mean, now is there pressure to place well? Yes, but you're there. You're on stage. The brand is being, you know, everything is connected to the bodybuilder. So, um, they should compete, you know. But anyways,
Yeah, that's just my opinion. That's your opinion, and
yeah,
so everybody has their own opinions.
yeah. Now going now, this part came a bit, you know, we're saying they should compete all the time and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there was, you know, we have to highlight it a bit, two deaths in the last 2 weeks, you know.
That's different.
Young guys. This guy I just found out about today on Generation Iron because they're putting up all this stuff. This guy is only 31.
Oh yeah, see, I
Um,
didn't even see this guy. I saw the other guy.
yeah, he just
This guy's
proposed to
30.
his fiance a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, there's no official cause of death. Um, he was an influencer and all this stuff. Here he is, but
Oh,
uh,
that's just so sad. Guy
yeah, this is sad.
proposes to his wife on stage.
Yeah, 31. I mean, it's becoming a bit ridiculous. And there's another guy. This guy, I don't. I think he might be in his 40s. He passed away a bit before.
40s is
Um,
still young.
yeah, this guy, Jimmy Sadik. I've saw him on. I sent you a photo of him. Did you see it on your WhatsApp with the his gut?
Not
Poor
sure.
guy. Um, I think this guy was a bit extreme. I mean,
Was he IFBB Pro?
I think he competed with the IFBB. I don't know if he was a pro. I don't know if he was a pro, but
But is another bodybuilder who
it's
died.
another bodybuilder that passed away just too young, too young. I mean, I don't know if you're seeing this. Are you
Yeah, I
seeing
see it.
this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
This
Yeah.
is his page. I mean, this was just a week ago. You know, he's there sun tanning. So it must have been a heart attack, you know. Um,
I think I read somewhere that he had a heart attack.
yeah, I know he competed with the pro league. I don't know if he got his pro card, but I don't
Does it
think he
say
was
in his
very, very
profile?
young.
Does it say in his profile if he was a pro? In his if you go to the top?
No,
Uh
he's a coach.
yeah, he might not, maybe he wasn't a pro,
I
but who
mean,
knows?
here it looked like he had either he had a small operation or something. Where the hell did it go? I saw somewhere he was bandaged up. Here he is. He must have had some kind of operation.
Oh, something on the stomach
Yeah,
then. Wow.
so it might have been related, who knows, but still too young. I don't know what's happening.
It's happening way too often.
This week I saw an article. It was headlined Women that take part in hardcore bodybuilding tend to have a high rate of passing away with heart attacks. So it's obvious if you do things wrong, anybody. Obviously, men have a higher rate because, men, there's more men in bodybuilding. But it was an article highlighting, obviously what they use and the extreme training and the diets and the thing where women usually don't have heart attacks as much as men. They're relating a lot of cardiac problems with bodybuilding. I mean, it's obvious, much heavier weight, you know, the things they do, the amount of food they eat, So, um, I mean, even strong men have a high rate of heart attacks. I mean, they're so heavy and things like that. But you just have to be careful, You have to be careful. I mean, every sport has an extreme, You could be driving at 300 kilometers an hour in Formula One and hit a wall, I mean, eh,
Yeah, but it's just that the rate of death and the ages that a lot of people are dying at now,
yeah, yeah,
it's becoming so frequent. The guys and girls are getting younger.
yeah.
And I really think that, why is it happening? I know that the first comment that the normal person is going to say is drugs, 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 drugs.
No,
And they're probably right. And
yes,
I think
yes,
it's
yeah,
twofold. I think
yeah,
that people are experimenting with much higher dosages,
yeah,
much more chemicals at the same time.
yeah,
And then I think that the other thing that's also a lot of people don't know is that it
yeah.
used to be back before steroids was a big deal.
See, this
Most
is,
people were taking steroids from pharmacies.
yeah,
It was pharmaceutical
yeah.
tested, clean. And now a lot of people get their drugs from underground
Yeah,
labs that are perhaps not going through safety testing. They're not being, there's
yeah,
much more, risk of contaminants and things like that. Sometimes people will think that they're taking a mild anabolic, but it's actually a much more
yeah,
major anabolic because,
yeah.
it's easier to, it's cheaper to sell. So they go way too high on dosages. So there's a lot of reasons, but I think most of
Yeah.
this is occurring from, unfortunately, PEDs. So I think that, and I'm not
Like,
against PEDs per se. I'm
yeah,
against the
yeah,
abuse of them. And I think
yeah,
too many people are abusing them.
yeah,
And a lot of people are abusing them now from, it used to be, I remember back when I started bodybuilding, and I had a huge bodybuilding community in New York where I was, huge, so many competitors. And most of them would wait 8, 10 years before they would even touch an
yeah.
anabolic. Like they
Now,
wanted to, everybody said the same thing. I want to build my body naturally to its peak
yeah,
and then I'll use.
no, that's
Now it's like the
what you
first day
take.
in the gym, they're
Yeah,
on a cycle.
yeah, yeah. The first time they walk in, they don't even know what the gym is,
They're just like, what drugs do I take? They
Yeah,
don't, it used to be, well, how do I train? How do I diet?
yeah,
Now it's what should I use?
yeah.
What should I
What?
use? And you see guys who have been training for a month and they're already on
Yeah.
trend. I mean,
I'm
it's
telling
insane.
you, what that guy probably saved my life. I mean, I was young. I was already driving 16 or 17 in Toronto, and I used to go to Henderson Thorne's gym. Henderson Thorne, do you
I
remember
remember him.
him?
Yeah. Hmm.
Canadian pro, fantastic
Yep.
bodybuilder.
Great bodybuilder.
And I used to go to his gym. And uh, and what's her name trained there as well? Laura Cravel. She was at her peak, with the blonde hair. She's, half caste.
He was amazing.
I
Yep.
remember I'm trying to do leg press. She's doing leg press next to me. Huge legs, really nice. Both of them were really nice, And I asked Henderson, I mentioned this many, many times. I said, how can I become like you? And I'm telling you, he was at climbing, he was almost at his peak. We're talking 86, 87. And he just looked at me and he said, Just, you said you're European. I said, yes. He just keep eating your mom's food, pasta, meat, you know. He said, go to McDonald's sometimes, have a burger. He said, just eat. He mentioned nothing. He didn't mention protein powders. He didn't mention eggs. He didn't mention carbs. He said, you're young, just eat and train. Eat and train. You'll burn off what you eat at the gym. Eat and train. Gain as much as you can with food. Nothing. I went to another gym. There was this Portuguese bodybuilder. He was a construction worker. He was in his 40s, 50s. Fantastic physique. And the same thing, I asked him, what do you do to become like, you're talking. And also he told me that trick of David, have half a glass of wine before you come to the gym. That's all he told me. Other than that, he said, just keep eating. Back then it was like a taboo. Nobody would tell you what they're doing. And God forbid they tell a young person to do something bad. You know, today they look for those young people to buy the stuff. It's a business, unfortunately.
Right.
Unfortunately, you
And
know.
it goes along with the way life is now,
Yeah,
because now we have, phones that are super fast, internet that's super fast. We want our information now.
yeah,
We want everything fast, fast,
yeah,
fast, fast.
yeah,
And it's bled over into the world of bodybuilding, and that people want, they
yeah,
want their pro cards after a year. They
yeah,
want,
yeah,
they want to know what their first cycle should be right away. They'll go on everything. They don't care. They're 17 years old, pimples all
yeah,
over their body.
yeah,
They already
yeah,
weigh 220, and they look a mess, but it's a huge problem. I remember, I mean, listen, trained with several, I trained in a gym where most people were on anabolics, almost all of them. And I trained with a guy who was on anabolics, great bodybuilder, never turned pro, but he could have if he would have kept going. And he was like a machine in the gym, man. He would bury me sometimes. I
yeah,
didn't when he would go on a cycle, because he would do what they used to do in the old days. They'd go on a cycle, they'd clean out for months. They'd go on
yeah,
another
yeah.
cycle,
On and
clean out.
off.
Now
Yeah,
it's like year round.
yeah,
But when he would go on stuff, I would be like, he'd be doing 2 sets for my every one, but I
yeah,
still didn't go on. And I built a physique that most people thought was drug
yeah,
built,
yeah,
but I did it naturally. I trained my ass off. I used food, the basic supplements. There's
yeah,
nothing more anabolic than food. I trained very intelligently, which is what made me a coach today.
yeah, yeah,
And the first time that I ever took anything was when I finally went on testosterone replacement at age 50.
yeah,
A
yeah,
little amount. So I built my physique
yeah,
naturally, and
yeah.
I'm not touting natural bodybuilding as the way to
No,
go.
no, no. Yeah,
But I just think that people these days are just pushing it too fast,
yeah,
too far, too hard, and they're not taking care of their health. And that is why we're
yeah.
seeing
And
increased deaths.
And even small tricks. I mean, we're on that subject of. I remember once as well. This guy was spotting me, another freak. He was another freak, and he said, and I was stuck at a certain weight. I was bench pressing. I don't know what it was, and he said, "Go have a drink." And to have a drink, the fountain back then. You remember we used to drink from a fountain. Today you don't do that
Yeah, nobody
anymore.
carried around water bottles like everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And he said, "Go around the corner, have a drink." I came back. He said, "Do another 8 sets," and I did them. And he said, "Look at the barbell." He added like 15 kilos on each side, and I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
Look where the mind.
Well,
Because
that's my
I,
biggest thing. People who know me, it's mind over muscle,
yeah, I
mind
thought
over
that I
body.
had the normal plates there, and he said, "See how your mind controls what you do." He
A
said,
hundred
"You didn't
percent.
know I added you the weight, and you still did the 8 reps."
One of
It's
the
amazing.
smartest. That's a
Yeah.
smart thing,
But
because
those
all
are
starts.
tricks that people used to do back then to encourage. Today, I mean, what's one of the reasons that some gyms put me off? You go there, you see these kids, and even the peer pressure. Like obviously in Malta, there's a lot of beaches and stuff like that. These lidos, and everybody's having fun on Sunday. Everybody's there without their shirts. All the abs are sticking out. Unfortunately, a lot of people. Um, they turn to recreational drugs to help speed fat loss as well, which
There's
is
that component
dangerous.
too. There's that component too. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
people will use
dangerous. And
recreational drugs that gets you
yeah,
flying
and
and
you see
speeding.
them, in the winter, then you see them right before the summer, all of a sudden they're ripped to shreds, and it's like, what are you doing, man? I mean, all this just to take off your shirt at the beach. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
you
yeah,
have
and
to
it
be
used to
careful.
it used to be that steroids was relegated just to bodybuilders and elite athletes, because a lot of
Yeah,
people don't talk about
yeah,
the drug use in
yeah,
other sports.
yeah,
But
yeah,
now that's also bled over into just people. They want to look good for vacation. They go on a cycle.
Yeah,
Like it's become so
yeah,
nobody wants to work hard anymore
no,
for anything.
yeah,
They want it easy.
yeah,
And that unfortunately is going to cause more health problems and
of
and
course.
and death. And it's really sad to see. I would really
Yeah,
wish that
it's
I don't really know what could be done about it at this point.
it's education and it's unfortunately where they buy, what they buy, how much they do. Um,
It's a multifaceted problem.
yeah, it's just one, and the amount of food you eat and thing. And even touching on food, there was that article I sent you this week. It was everywhere. CBS is on the major Canadian websites, American. Apparently, I'm not putting down any supplement company or anything like that, but they're saying they are finding some protein powders have a high amount of lead.
Yes.
So, um, I did a bit of people might
Yeah, I
say,
know you'd
what?
sent me some of those articles.
Yeah, I said, and like I did a quick search, what can a high amount of lead do to you? This is obviously, I think Chat GPT, AI mode in Google. So, everybody has to use a bit of AI, not just to judge bodybuilding,
Yeah, well,
bodybuilding done.
it's part
But
of the world now. It's
we
part of the
let
world.
Matt have fun with that. I have nothing against it. He's having fun with it, so it's his thing. So obviously a lot of lead poisoning, brain and nervous system, it can affect that, kidneys, blood, digestive system, reproductive system, and other high blood pressure, joint pain. You know, uh, listen, I don't know how much. I'm not gonna get really into the article, but they are finding. Unfortunately, they're finding too much lead in some protein.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's my opinion on that. I mean, first of all, I think that number one, you could find also high lead levels in a lot of foods that we eat. So and a lot of contaminants and some of
Yeah,
the soil and things like that is but I personally think that I doubt that the lead levels are so high that they're really hurting anybody. Otherwise, we'd be seeing a lot more problems because protein powder is huge. But also, nobody's asking you to have protein powder 6 times a day.
yeah, that's the
Everything,
thing.
everything in
Yeah,
moderation. You have
yeah,
one or two protein
yeah,
shakes a day.
yeah.
I highly doubt you're gonna, get, lead levels that are gonna cause problems for you. And also, I always question articles that have to do with, even though I would still consider it a supplement in a way, protein powders. I feel like the world of supplements is hated by certain factions,
Yeah.
and they want to get that stuff off the market, um, to not allow people to have the use of certain supplements because they want to regulate it more. So I always wonder if there's some type of a bias between on those kinds of things, or there's an intention that is not being put forth that we don't know, some other intention, that's being negative. Now, am I sure that there's some companies out there in general that are not very good at testing their supplements and making sure that they're clean of contaminants or heavy leads or heavy metals or whatever? Yeah, sure. That's why you should just make sure that any supplement company that you purchase from, you should make sure that they are doing third-party testing of their products, and that they're making sure that their products are clean. And that should be something that you look for in a supplement company, just for your own, health and safety. So, but I wouldn't think people should worry,
Yeah, yeah.
get
No,
too
but
overly
just,
dramatic about this thing. But it's
right
it's a good
here.
topic to bring up because protein
Yeah.
powders are
It's
monstrous.
it's
I
when
mean,
you see them popping up everywhere, then I see them on some major websites, but then everybody starts copying what everybody else is doing. But it's good to mention, maybe there is a problem, so you have to take everything in moderation,
yeah,
like you
I mean,
said.
you could look into it further. You could see which
Yeah,
protein powders you might be able to find out
yeah,
have higher lead content and
yeah. I mean,
avoid
listen,
those.
if you eat 10 cans of tuna a day, you're gonna have high mercury levels.
Correct. That's what
It
I'm saying.
happened
That
to me
there's
when I was
foods.
young, when I didn't know anything about bodybuilding a lot. I was eating tuna like crazy. Go to get a doctor, they check your blood. Listen, something's off here. What are you eating? I don't know, 6 cans of tuna a day. go, take it down a bit. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, exactly. And that's why you look at anything. You look at artificial sweeteners or things
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they find studies like this causes cancer.
yeah,
This,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the truth of the matter is that I think pretty much
yeah.
in general, everything in moderation,
Moderation,
your body can
Yeah,
handle. We're built
yeah,
to handle.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
built to handle things
yeah,
that poisons and stuff that our body can filter out.
yeah,
If
yeah,
you overload it
yeah.
and every meal's
It's
a
like,
protein shake and it's high lead, or just like you were talking about tuna, then
yeah,
yeah, then you have an issue. But moderation is key with
yeah, it's
everything.
like Coke Zero. It's better to drink Coke with sugar. No, Coke Zero, if you have one can or two a day, it's not
Exactly.
going to
I
kill
used
you.
to, you people I know, like my brother, my ex-brother-in-law used to drink a bottle of that stuff a day. And of course it's
Yeah.
gonna be, I love Diet Coke,
I mean,
Coke Zero. Love it. I could drink it with every meal. I
yeah,
limit myself to one can a day
yeah. Listen,
because I love it.
I
But I'm not,
don't
that's it.
eat without Coke Zero on the table. I'll go crazy. I have to go out and buy and bring it in, and then I'll eat. I have to have it. So it's not. I'm not drinking it all the time during the day. I drink water. You know what I mean? So,
Right?
anyways,
Some level of moderation, the
yeah,
body is built to handle. There's poisons everywhere. God made us to handle, and filter these things out.
yeah,
You just don't
yeah,
want to overload your system. It's like, it's like anything. It's like even with guys, even if people do anabolics and they're a healthy
yeah,
person
yeah,
and they do moderate levels and they get tested
yeah,
and they go
yeah,
off and they come back on, they're
yeah,
usually fine.
yeah,
You take grams and grams a
yeah,
week of all
yeah,
these different
yeah,
substances, you
yeah,
never
yeah,
come off.
yeah,
That's when you have problems.
yeah. Drink a bottle of whiskey a day and talk to me in a year. See what happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, people say, oh, I love to have one drink a day. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean that you're going to be unhealthy from it. You drink a whole bottle of
yeah,
crap, then you're going to have problems.
yeah.
So,
So,
moderation is key. And
yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about that, guys. But go with
Uh,
the company. But whatever supplement company you use, I would look into their testing to make
of
sure that they're
course.
testing their products.
Yeah,
That's important.
yeah,
I have only worked with companies in the past that I have done my due diligence on and made sure that they
yeah,
have their products tested, their raw materials tested, because I want to make sure that anything I represent is going to be healthy and
yeah,
not
yeah.
an issue for anyone.
So before we go into Ask Merlin, I
Yeah,
just got some info. My mobile made a noise from WhatsApp, and I ignored it. And when I went into the
interesting.
screen, my other monitor, I got a message from a very good friend. Apparently, uh,
This breaking news.
yeah, he told me to ask Phil. I said, Phil who? He said, Phil Klahar. Apparently, Jake Wood is going to pay the Masters competitors for the money that the promoter didn't pay them for.
Honestly, okay, so it's very funny that you say that because I was thinking to myself that something like that may happen and that Jake is going to say, pay the money and then say, you owe the money to me rather than
Yeah,
keeping it from the competitors.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
is amazing. I'm so
yeah,
glad that he's going to do that.
yeah. I mean, maybe I jumped the gun saying it, but it's
Or
it's
hopefully
good.
that he's going to
This
do that.
is why it's good. People might be hating Phil, but he's talking for all the competitors, not just him. You know.
Well, you
Um,
know what? I think you should preface this because we didn't talk about this before.
no.
Tell people kind of what has been going on so that people understand
Um,
what we were talking about.
so basically, um,
It's the Masters Olympia that just
the
passed
Masters Olympia was done what 3 months ago, right?
about
Two
3 months
months
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
And there's the IFBB Pro that sanctions it. There's Jake Wood, right? Then there's the promoter. So the promoter didn't pay the athletes the prize money. Okay.
Right. This was held in Tokyo.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
was a
So
Tokyo
Phil,
promoter.
obviously, he's a bodybuilder that competes and he wants to get paid. He's a professional
He
athlete.
placed, he ended up placing second. So he
Plus
got,
all the other athletes want to
listen, I
get paid.
have two girls who placed
Yeah.
in the top five,
All
and
right.
both of them
So
have been waiting for their payment and
yeah,
wondering why it hasn't been there.
I'm not calling out Jake. I'm not calling out Jim Mannion. It's
Not
for
calling out
me,
about anybody. It's just this is what's
it's
been
the
happening.
it's the responsibility of the promoter.
Promoter.
Now,
Hmm.
so the promoter, um, he didn't pay them. The thing is, not just that he didn't pay them, he's promoting another two pro shows, Amateur Olympia. all right, and the Japan whatever pro show. So if you have money to give out 70,000 prize money for the Japan show, why didn't you pay why didn't you pay the athletes? You
You
know?
need to pay the
So
athletes.
you have Phil and everybody pissed off that they're not paid, right? And and obviously it cost them money to go to the show. So
That's the other thing. A
yeah,
very expensive trip.
yeah.
All they're
So
not getting anything paid for it. It's all self-paid.
yeah,
So they're probably spending more money on doing the show than they're even getting
yeah,
back.
yeah.
So they really do need that money.
Yeah,
They
so
deserve
just so you know, I'm trying to get Phil to come on, but I don't, he's probably training or eating. He does everything.
it. We can have Phil
So
on another
I
time.
sent him a message, but he's probably not seeing it. And so Phil made a big thing about it with Matt on Muscle Discord, which is good. They didn't say anything bad about anybody. Maybe he was a bit opinionated for some things, but anyways, he said it, it's being shared, and hey, apparently Jake Wood's gonna cover the costs. This shouldn't happen. It's the Olympia brand, so Jake Wood doesn't want to tarnish his brand. So he's probably he's paying the athletes just to keep everybody happy. But this promoter should be warned, or the pro league should tell them, listen, if you can't pay the athletes, we're going to take away the right to sanction a show. So, or they tell him, listen, the money for the athletes have to go into a bank account before the show starts. That's what it that's what they should do, because
Yeah, it
the
should be put
athlete should
aside.
be the first priority. The athletes couldn't care less if your production costs were high, like they told him, or you have the rate of exchange is different. No, you promised them 15 grand, 8 grand, 10 grand, give it to them.
Yes,
They're
agreed.
professional athletes. At least Phil was really calm about it. He said, I gave him enough time. And he said, if they're going to take longer, I'm going to ask them for the money, the interest I had to pay for like credit cards and things. So eight grand can turn to 13, for the promoter. This promoter's lucky they're not suing him, you know.
It could have gone that far.
So
Yeah.
if this is true, and I think it is, uh, I think apparently Jake Wood is going to take over the cost, which it's not fair.
I could see Jake doing that because I believe Jake, first of all, aside from the fact that the Olympia is his brand now and he doesn't want to tarnish it,
Yeah,
he's also for the athletes and he doesn't want to see the
yeah,
athletes
yeah,
not getting paid for their hard work. And
yeah.
that's why he's really, really important and he's good at what he does. And I think that if that is what he's doing, I really commend him. I think that's a great,
I
I was
mean,
hoping I'd hear something like that.
the way I see it, do you think? I think Jim Mannion and Jake were paid their fees before. Like Jake was probably paid for the rights to do the show already, and I
Of
think
course.
I think Mannion was paid because if he wasn't paid, we know how he works. I know how he works. You're out. You have
Yeah.
to pay your dues before you do the show. You know what I mean?
I think what you said before is actually you hit a nail on the head. The money should be put aside in an account.
Yeah,
Like you said, just like you put money aside for your kids to go to college.
yeah,
You want to have this amount of money because you know it's going to cost this much money to put them through college. It's sitting in a fund waiting. I think
yeah,
that you're right. I think there should be that money in an account that's not
yeah,
touched, that goes to the athletes,
yeah,
period.
yeah. So it's no use saying that you have 100 grand prize money and you don't give nothing out, or you give half of it out.
I listen, I feel the pain because, like I said, I have two personal clients, and I know Phil as well, who's been
Yeah.
talking to me about this, and have two clients that it's not a ton of money. It's not like we're talking about 50 grand,
No.
but it's money that is important to them. And they were expecting their money a couple of weeks after the show, and they've been waiting and they need it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
I could totally understand their plight,
yeah.
and I really think that's
Yeah.
awesome if
So
Jake is doing that.
like I mean, the way I see it, just like they called everybody out, now they should do a video and give the same time and thank Jake Wood and whoever else helped, and
Oh, 100%.
just as you called them out. I mean, and now you say,
Now
listen,
give credit where credit's due.
these guys fixed the thing, but still the Japanese promoter should see what he's gonna do with his the next
Well,
show.
that's
Yeah.
for Jake and Mannion to deal with now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to take care of the athletes, and now they can deal
Yeah.
with
The
him
athletes
their
come
way.
first. The athletes come first,
Yeah,
Because now in 2 years, if they do another show and the same promoters involved, nobody might go, you know?
it's going to certainly tarnish it. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Brandon, Bolnack, who else? Kai Green, these guys to go to a show like that, they have to have the finances, you know, finalized before they go. They're not going to go and, take their brand there, which is them, and not get paid. Yeah, listen, there's money involved in everything today. Nobody's doing nothing for free,
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So that's good news. That's good news.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah. So it's Merlin time.
Well,
Where
you know
is
what
he?
happens when it's Merlin time?
Yeah, yeah.
Has to always happen because he apparently needs. He never gets old, man.
No, no.
He's always sitting here right by my side. He's
Yeah,
waving to the
yeah,
crowd. He
yeah.
thinks he's the superstar, Mini Merlin. He's the one he says he taught me everything,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
stole his nickname, Merlin. So yeah, so I got this question, which I have right here. So somebody said, "Hey, Coach Merlin, I have read in your articles and in your videos, seen in your videos that you generally recommend training most muscle groups once per week, except in the case of a lagging area where you'll suggest not necessarily 2 workouts a week, but one full workout and one mini workout. Can you give me an example?" So that is true. When for if I and again, this is not a broad sweep, like there are exceptions to this rule. But for most people, I think that if you hit a muscle once per week and really, really crush it, that's all you really need. And the reason why I say that is that, I talk about this all the time, is that let's just say, you're talking about, I don't know, back or whatever, or shoulders. Even when you're doing other movements, when you're doing chest movements, you're involving shoulders. When you're doing, back movements, that also involves shoulders. When you sometimes when you're even doing seated military presses, that involves some upper chest. So there's always crossover, especially when you're looking at things like arms. I mean, that's almost any upper body exercise involves arms. So there's some crossover, which is why I believe that muscles are getting more stimulation than people think. But a direct hit, I think, once a week, if not if you don't train intensely. Listen, if you don't train intensely, then once a week isn't going to do it. And then there are some people who have very poorly responding body parts who might need a little bit more frequency. But in general, once per week, that's what I've always recommend. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for years. And I have gone from, let's see, I started training, I weighed 125 pounds. I currently weigh 265. So there's 140 pounds of muscle for you. So, and that wasn't done with drugs. So it works. However, when I have a client, or even I've done it with myself in the past when I was competing, and I'll have a body part that is not keeping up with the others. It's lagging behind. It doesn't seem to grow as easily. I will recommend most of the time a full workout early in the week, and then like a mini workout to touch on that body part again later in the week. So he asked for an example. So let's just say chest was the body part, wasn't working for you. Back is doing great, shoulders doing great, arms, but the chest is lagging behind. So let's just say Monday is usually a day that almost everybody
Chest
trains
day.
chest. I do back on Monday purposely. I do, but chest is a very strong body part for me. So anyway, so let's just say you go in the Monday, you go in the gym, you blast chest, you do the 3 killer sets of flat dumbbell presses, then you do 3 killer sets of incline or Smith incline presses, then you destroy them on 3 more sets of flies, and then you finish off with some dips. Kill your chests, killing you. Great, great workout. Say, give it a couple of days rest, and then maybe on like Thursday would be your second day. Whatever you train that day, let's just say you're hitting, arms that day or shoulders, whatever, put in sort of like a mini workout. So if you do, say, 12 working sets, I'm not including warm-ups. If you do 12 working sets for chest on Monday, Thursday, maybe do 6 working sets. I think it's a good idea to, unless you're, for most people to change the movements a little bit. So whatever you did on Monday, vary them a little bit on Thursday. So if you did flat
Maybe,
dumbbell presses, incline presses, maybe switch to incline dumbbell presses on
or maybe
Thursday,
machine,
or a
cables,
machine, yeah,
cables,
or
different angles.
cables, yeah,
Yeah,
different angles, or
yeah.
use the hammer strength, but
Decline. Do they still do
yeah,
decline
just play with
press?
it a little bit. Hit
Yeah,
different movements
yeah.
that you did on Monday, but basically just do 6 working sets. So pick maybe 3 exercise, 1 to 2 warm-up sets, whatever you need, and then 2 working sets and really kill it. So you're doing like a mini workout.
Yeah.
I think that that is a great way to approach it. It's always worked well for most people because sometimes there are certain body parts that there's a lot of reasons why a body part can be lagging. It could be lagging because you're not training it well. It could be lagging because you're not eating well in the days or you're not getting enough rest. But there can just be certain genetic body parts that just need more stimulation.
Yeah.
It's once a week, a direct hit once a week isn't enough for that body part, and it just needs more stimulation. So sometimes you will need that second hit. Now, I wouldn't, sometimes I talk about specializing on a body part. So let's just say chest is the weak point. I would probably do that full workout, that mini workout for maybe a good six weeks straight. Then I would back off to like the once a week again. And then maybe there's another body part that you want to pick that you want to specialize on. So then maybe do that with back for 6 weeks or shoulders for 6 weeks and switch from body part to body part. And I think over time, all else being equal, all else being, that you're doing proper training, proper sleep, proper food, proper supplementation, you'll start to see those weaker body parts catch up. So that's my basic recommendation. It has always worked
Do you,
very, very well for me and for any
yeah.
of my clients.
Do you think that's why, some even pro bodybuilders, right? So you have a pro bodybuilder who do a contest and they'll criticize him for example, having like it happens a lot of times, the upper body overpowers the legs. So now this athlete gets a new coach, let's say you or somebody, right? And you tell them, listen, your legs are lagging. And you notice, obviously, legs sometimes is not the most enjoyable body part to train. So
Hurts.
you see them, do just going through the motions of squats, leg press, and that. And then you teach the guy, to go really intense on squats, leg press, whatever, hack squats and all this stuff. And then you add a second day, to refine calves, leg extensions, hamstrings, and things like that. And then you notice after a year, or from the Arnold to the Olympia, this athlete will improve. The hamstrings will appear better, the separation in the front. It's like sometimes it could be the athlete is not, if it's a body part they don't like, they're not training intensity. The intensity is not
Right.
there.
Correct.
And instead of you give them the knowledge to save them that second time to train it twice a week,
Right.
it it could be it's boring. Oh, they don't like doing legs, so it
Right. Well,
lags.
and that's a great point. And that's why if somebody comes to me and who I don't really know what they do, and somebody comes to me in the gym and says, "Hey, Eric, I was just wondering, I'm having problems with this body part.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask them,
yeah,
well, what are
train.
you doing?
Yeah, or
What are
just
you
train and
doing
I'll
for that
watch
body
you.
part?
Yeah, yeah,
Or observe them, like you said, because they can be picking, not really doing any of the good
yeah,
basic exercises that build muscle. Maybe, like you said, the body part is real. A lot of people don't train a lot. You see a lot of weak legs because people just don't want to
yeah,
get down and dirty with legs because why? It's sickening.
yeah.
It
Make
hurts.
and it
It
makes you
hurts. It
sick
makes you
sometimes.
sick.
Yeah,
It makes you nauseous. You want to puke.
it's not the
It's a
first time.
very, you have to,
Yeah,
it's a very difficult. So a lot of people, they don't
yeah,
want to train that way.
yeah,
That could be the reason. It
yeah,
could be technique flaws.
yeah,
It could be that they're doing the same thing every single
yeah,
week and then there's never a change. There's no new stimulation.
yeah,
Same reps, same sets, same order, same everything.
yeah,
So there's a lot of variables that you have to
yeah.
look at why this could be
And
happening. And it could be one of those things
yeah, and
as well.
as well, because while you're talking, you start thinking about things. And why do female athletes, a lot of them, bikini, like bikini, you see them all with the glutes, like Ashley Kaltwasser or whatever, even relaxed, you can see that she has a perfect physique.
Yeah.
They train legs so intense and glutes because they want to get to that goal. And and look, the women's physique, some of their leg development is much better than men. And they have a goal that they want to, have a certain, it's like sometimes I'm noticing some guys just go through the motion and they say, I have a weak body part. No, you're not training it, you
Oh, of
know,
course, yeah,
you
100%.
know, or he has small arms, they'll never grow. No, you might be able to push them just a bit more. You know what I mean? So that thing of training it twice a week is a good idea. And like we said, the Monday for chest, for example, would be the basics, bench press or with the dumbbell press or and an incline, whatever, decline and things like that.
Yeah, the
Strict,
basic fundamental
heavy.
movements.
Yeah. And then on the Friday or Thursday, use the cable, different angles,
Yeah,
It's like you're doing the most muscular or you're doing them a bit more standing up,
yeah. There's a lot of amazing machines you can go with a
decline,
little bit more like that. Yeah.
the old one, the pullovers, with the bench, to expand the rib cage, all these. There's a lot of old exercises that people don't do anymore.
Oh, yes, 100%. So
You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean, so there is. So when I was answering that question, I was answering it as if, saying they're doing all the right things, but they're only
Yes,
doing it once
yes,
a week, and
yes.
they may need that second more stimulation. But yes, like I said, if somebody comes to me, I'm going to want to know, what are you doing? How are
Yeah,
you doing it? What's your technique? What
yeah,
techniques,
yeah,
what intensity techs are you using? What's your rep ranges? There's things, because like you said, it may just come down to not frequency. It might come down to intensity and form.
yeah,
So, obviously all that has to be looked at. But just in general, I was answering that question because a lot of people will be like, oh, I want to train this body part 3 days a week and blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
That's usually not a good idea for most. Obviously, if you're on a ton of drugs and your genetics are
yeah,
great and your recovery, you don't have a job, you know, most people can hit a body part once a week, crush it. But if you're crushing it, you're crushing it, you're not growing.
yeah,
Sometimes adding that little second mini workout, your body just needs a little bit more frequency. And I think that a mini workout often works better than another full workout. So give that a try. But yes, there's could be a lot of reasons why a body part is weak. And
yeah,
like, listen, some people just have, look at Milos is the perfect example. Milos never had strong arms his whole career. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
he was great in so many body, but his physique flowed, so he looked, but he always had to really push those arms to get them to keep up. And sometimes
yeah,
genetics is going to be the biggest
yeah,
influence on what you're going to look like, because if you have, you've seen guys who have weak calves who kill them, man. They kill their calves, but they're
yeah,
still weak because there's just not maybe enough muscle fibers in there. There's just not enough nerve force responsiveness. And then you see somebody who he's never trained calves before,
yeah,
but he just walks up a lot of staircases and he's got these diamonds. It's like
yeah.
genetics is a
It's
huge thing.
genetics as well. I mean,
Genetics is huge.
some bodybuilders managed to make careers and worked around certain weak, like, uh, you know, my God. Um,
Oh, you're
woo,
getting old, man. Your brain is just fried.
I
Who are you
can't
trying to
believe
think
I've
of?
Dorian Yates.
Oh, I
I
didn't know who
can't
you were going
I
for.
can't believe I forgot his name.
You forgot one of the best bodybuilders that ever lived. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. He'd probably tell me off. But anyways, um, he had weak arms, but he managed to grow them in a certain way as much as he could. And even when he ripped his triceps apart. He had problem. He still hit them and managed somehow to pose. So it's illusion. It's hiding body parts and things like that. So you know,
Yeah, I
um,
mean,
you just have to put the time in and train properly. It's better
but
to do two
yeah.
exercises with strict
But
sets.
yes, I know your point. You're going to say it's better to do two exercises,
Yeah,
kill it, proper
yeah,
form, than doing
yeah,
four exercises and
yeah,
doing terrible form and wasting your time doing them. But yeah, I mean, just, it's interesting the way when we talk about certain things, it kind of throws us off into little tangents. But yes, genetics is going to be the biggest factor in building a body without a doubt. However, do not let genetics hold you back. In other words, work hard to do the best you can to overcome
exactly.
your genetics. But listen, you have people, like I said, I'll just throw out, like you just threw out Dorian. Think about somebody like Johnny Jackson, who
Yeah,
really had trouble building his upper body, insane.
yeah,
Legs
yeah,
never was up big as his upper body. And that guy could squat 800 pounds.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that guy trained his butt off and he
yeah,
still couldn't build a leg. He had good legs,
yeah,
but they were not nearly his upper body. And if he would have had legs that match his upper body, he would have had a
yeah.
lot more titles on him. But
Listen,
genetics sometimes Very difficult thing to overcome.
Listen, Brandon Curry had weak legs. Look what happened this
Oh,
year.
dude, and he came back this year with big legs. So maybe
Separated from the front.
could he be somebody that was not killing him to the point, and he said this year, you know
Mm,
what, I'm going to blast him.
yeah, yeah,
Something happened because at age 40 something, when you're
yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to be declining in the
yeah,
legs, I
yeah,
came back with massive thighs.
yeah. Milos didn't complain about his legs this year. Usually, he says he has a world-class Mr. Olympia upper body, and he just, not from the side. He always had the
No,
side,
just
the
from the
front.
front.
Yeah,
But from the front this year, not only was his legs improved, they were big,
yeah, conditioned.
full,
Yeah,
big,
yeah,
veiny. I
yeah.
mean,
So
anyway, we can
listen.
go on forever talking about it. But anyway,
So
that's it.
we've been on again, the usual 2 hours, having fun. So that's it for today, I guess, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. We covered everything. It was a good week. And
Yeah, yeah,
next week will be number 23. I think we'll try to pull some guests for
yeah. We have to get
upcoming
some guests now.
shows.
The Olympias is past, and maybe we'll try to ask some
But
people.
next time, is the Prague this weekend, the Prague show? Is
Yeah,
that this weekend? Oh,
yeah,
we'll be able to talk. That's going to be fun to talk about.
yeah, yeah. So that's so
It's a
that's it
big
then.
show. Yep. So that's it. We're good.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week, and we'll see what we come up with, some funny stories and things like that. Hopefully everybody keeps healthy, and that's it. So we'll see
Yep.
you next week, and don't forget to subscribe.
That subscribe,
You
like,
have
share,
you have to subscribe.
subscribe, please, because we're going to bring you so much more cool stuff over the
Yeah,
next
yeah. Well, no, we're here still,
years.
We're having fun with it. So you know, it's growing. It's growing. The page is the YouTube page is growing slowly, It's not as easy as it was before, so uh anyways, we're getting there.
We will get there.
Rome wasn't built in a day,
Correct.
So
All
that's
right, guys. Well,
see ya.
thanks for watching. We'll see you
Yeah,
next time.
yeah, see ya.
All right. Peace.